What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever episode 23 of the Kind of Funny Gamescast. This is a very special one, guys.
Yeah.
This is the one leading into E3.
Whoa.
Yeah. Now, if you guys don't know, we got the coolest dudes in video games right here. Colin Moriarty, Greg Miller, and Portillo. We're trying out something new.
If you've listened to the Game Over Greggy's show, that would be going up at the same time for Patreon people as this show. You know that we were debating the best way to seat Portillo at the table because I get pushed off the mic when he's in my lap. So we're doing this. But of course, Portillo thinks this means he's getting a bark box.
Oh.
So we got to
You can see him. He's like shaking.
We got to wean him off.
There was another option that I don't know if you considered, and this is a kind of one of those crazy options, which is that maybe the dog doesn't need to be in the room. I know that's one of the crazier
I knew where you were going when you started with it. Yeah. Just keep in mind, he's a pretty popular part of the show.
He is. I'm not saying he isn't. I'm just saying this wasn't the only solution to this problem. In fact, this was maybe the more complicated and unnecessary of all of the
Let's
solutions.
put his bed on the table.
I'm just saying we're trying something out. We're going to see how it is.
Nick sits uncomfortably sometimes too on the Game Over Greggy show. Are we just gonna are we gonna bring the toilet into the room for Nick? Is he just gonna sit on the toilet?
We probably should.
That would be good.
Production would go up for sure.
Oh, look at him.
See?
He's doing
He's just
stuff.
going to, once he understands he's not getting anything,
He's not
he'll
doing
eventually
much.
just go to bed and it'll be fun.
He's doing something though.
He's old. This is one of his only
The
tricks.
half roll.
the paralysis.
My God.
Look at him.
All right, guys.
Put
so
your
here's the
crotch
deal.
away,
We got
Portillo.
E3 coming up very soon.
Yeah.
This is very exciting. Now, what's interesting about us is, let's get into the rigmarole here. The Kind of Funny Gamescast, the show where we talk about video games. And what we do is we break it up topic by topic every day, Monday through Thursday, over on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. Full episode goes up on Friday. You can get it early. Patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. But what's interesting about this is E3's like 2 weeks out from now. But how we're recording it now, we're going to be making predictions and stuff. And it's going to be a little thrown off because when people are listening to this, no matter when they're listening to it, even if it's early, usually the show isn't as topical. That's my point.
We try to keep it more evergreen.
Yeah, we try to just talk about more general topics. This, I think, we might say some stuff that's going to be a little out of date by the time they
So
hear it.
we're going to make predictions. And you're saying that by the time our prediction on Wednesday posts, maybe news had broken on
exactly.
Tuesday.
So I'm just letting the people know.
Then
Not that it matters because really we're just kind of fucking talking.
For the record, we recorded this on Tuesday, June 2nd, 4:39.
Yeah.
Pacific Daylight Time,
Sure.
Yeah.
right?
Is there a difference between daylight and standard?
Yes.
Yes. PDT and PST.
The fuck?
That's
really?
why you say PT. You don't put the...
We're not PST.
Well, sometimes we are.
Half the year you are. Half the year you're PDT. Half the year you're PST. To not do that, you do PT
Good Lord.
Yeah,
because of daylight savings.
It's rigmarole.
I learned some things today.
You did.
Guys. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to have... Normally we have the 4 topics. We'll have the 3 normal topics, and the last topic will be just the random people from the internet giving us... What are you
Can't do
doing?
it. I'm putting the dog on the ground. This shot looks like we have a dead dog. We have like a wake for this dog. I can't do it. I'm sorry. He's like lying in state. he's like Lenin or something. Come on, big guy.
See, the funniest thing, I was giving the whole rigmarole.
I
and
couldn't do
you
it. I
kept
tried
looking
so
over
hard.
at me, smiling, and I was like, why is he smiling?
The microphone doesn't...
No, it's fine.
He wants that bed.
Well, again, he
freaking
thinks
out.
something's happening. He thinks he's getting something.
Portillo,
Oh my God.
it's not all about you all the time.
All right. So
Usually it's about Greg. It's not about you, Portillo.
He's going
He's
for
learning
it.
too much from
He's
you.
going to freaking dive.
That's one.
He's learning too much from you, Greg.
Go fall in the nice soft bed.
All right. So what we're going to do differently this week is instead of... We're going back to the old school Gamescast because that could be a thing at this point. There's been 23 episodes. So doing something more like, I don't know, maybe the 12th episode where we didn't do the mailbag, grab bag topic.
Oh, right, okay.
So yeah, we're just going to have 4 topics that are our own topics. First topic is going to be Sony. Predictions for their press conference. Second topic will be Microsoft, then Nintendo, then third parties. It's going to be fun. Now, you guys have a little tradition over on this other thing that you used to do.
Yeah, the old podcast we used to do.
Yes,
2 guys and
something.
a girl.
Yeah, that's a good name for it.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to go a little bit beyond that. And you guys are going to make predictions for what's going to happen at the press conferences.
5 predictions for every press
Yes.
conference.
Now, I have a bunch of I'm not going to necessarily make predictions.
You're the host.
Yeah, I have a bunch of games and we'll bring them up and see what you guys think of whether or not they'll be there.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have to go to kindoffunny.com/forums and keep track of this for us. Mitchell Morgan, of course, no longer with us. Didn't die, just really focused out in school, so he can't be our bet tracker.
Yeah.
So we're doing the normal predictions here. Colin's gonna have fucking granular as shit predictions so that he can get 0.2 points.
Oh, I play it.
No, yeah.
I don't milk it. I won't.
play the
I
game.
want to win truly.
Yeah.
In fact, you could stop this right now, host, and you could say full points only.
Okay, full points only.
Ah, he's my puppet.
That's not the way. That's not the way the tradition was.
I don't care. There's a
Alright.
new tradition here.
Okay. I guess
My
we
only
should just
prediction is next year will be the year of the Yosh. It's finally happening. All the companies are just going to give in, and they're just going to build a shrine for Yoshi, and all games are going to star Yoshi. All right, so what we're going to do
I like how we're
first,
just getting rid of traditions. By the way, let's get rid of Christmas
Okay.
while we're at it.
before we get into all that, though, I just talking about E3 in general.
Okay.
So today it was announced that Jeff Keighley is going to be hosting YouTube's live stream, YouTube's
Right.
first ever actual. So it's youtube.com/E3.
Nice.
So that's crazy. Those bastards, how'd they get that? Oh, they're YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's really fucking cool. They're going to do a lot of stuff. Rooster Teeth's going to be a part of it. That's exciting. They're going to have a whole bunch of guests and stuff. Maybe we'll be there. Who knows? That's going to be pretty fun. I'm excited for that. There's also a whole bunch of other ways that people can watch. I think there's more live streams going on this year for E3 than there ever has been.
Wow.
So that's exciting. As a, not us, but like for the people that are staying home and not going to be at E3, you're going to be able to see all
it's
types of
exciting
stuff.
for us too because we're doing live streams.
Yes.
We're doing pre and post shows for every conference on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. That includes Bethesda Sunday night,
Yep.
then all Monday, then Tuesday through Thursday we're on GameSpot hosting our show there.
So that's what's going on. The GameSpot's doing it, IGN's doing it, Game Trailers is doing it, Twitch is doing it. Like, there's a lot of stuff happening.
Right.
But what you guys need to know, the most important thing, is that Kind of Funny Games will be streaming pre and post shows for all of the conferences throughout Sunday and Monday. Right? Are we doing Bethesda's too?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
just said that.
There we go. There we go.
Got it.
And then,
Got to put on your listening ears.
yep.
I understand. He's in the rigmarole. I get that way too. I get that way too.
And then, yeah, so then we're going to do GameSpot's thing. And I'm really excited for that because we got some crazy shit planned for that. And I'm excited you guys are going to like it a lot. We're going to talk about video games with a lot of cool people, specifically about some Sony stuff. Let's get into it.
All right, so we're doing predictions right now.
Start with the predictions.
Colin, you begin.
Oh, you want to just do that without even trying to figure out who goes first? All right.
How do you, was that one of the predictions? Is that one of the traditions we used to do?
We used to just at least figure it out.
Well, how do we do it? What do you want to do? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot?
yeah.
1, 2, show?
No. 1, 2, 3 show.
Okay. You like wasting a
ready?
lot of time. 1, 2, 3, show.
Things happen.
At least it was fair.
So I'm firing the first volley from my Sony list. Name changes are a go. They're going to
They're gonna
announce there
announce
that you can finally change your PlayStation
Oh.
Network name.
I like that.
Yeah, I know you do.
You really think it's going to happen?
I don't know. It's a dumb prediction. I have a bunch of other boring predictions that I'm
Okay.
sure Colin and I are going to go. Did you go boring? Did you go off of like research or what did you do?
I just went with my balls.
Okay.
Best way to go.
What's your next one? First one. Whatever. Do you not? Does everybody think that's not going to happen? I think it's.
I don't think that will happen.
I think that's an interesting. I don't know if that's like
Because
an
my
E3
original thing was
worthy-
going to be that firmware 3.0 was go, and they had some fucking shit in there you want. Because they've been working on that, I know.
yeah, I mean,
But this is something you'd want in there.
people do underestimate that is the most requested feature on PlayStation Network, and it has been for years.
Yeah.
So it would be something that I think would be at a press conference, but I don't
Right.
know if they're ready.
I don't either, but I'm putting it out there. And I'm not saying day of. It's just it's time.
It's
Maybe
time.
they give you a date, a window.
The Last Guardian is re-revealed for PlayStation 4.
Uh-huh.
They show a new trailer for it with a release date this fall.
Whoa. Okay, so when you say trailer, are we getting gameplay or is it some CG bullshit?
Probably both.
Okay.
The game's been in development. Sony swears up and down and has for years that the game is in development and being worked on actively at Japan Studio. Now is the time. The game will be shown at E3. And I know I make that prediction a lot.
Yeah. Just every time we do one of these predictions. So again, there's your tradition. Your tradition.
But
of
we're not going to
continuing
break that
Sticking
tradition.
to it.
So The Last Guardian, re-revealed, PlayStation 4. And
Get
it
her,
will be
Portillo.
coming... Really... Go to bed.
We have his
And
bed.
And it will be coming this year. And
That's
therefore, no more gap
Crazy.
on... See, understand that they have nothing to gain by teasing this game again. They have to just show it and release it.
Right.
And so it'll either be at E3 or Gamescom, but I do believe that game's coming out soon.
This year.
Yeah.
I
don't-
think that's the more shocking thing.
They don't gain anything by playing, by playing around with it anymore. Like when it's going to be shown, it's imminent. Because like the game just needs to come out now. But I do believe it's real, and I believe it will come out.
I mean, do you think that's a holiday title though?
Yes, especially with Uncharted out, they need a game, and everyone's looking at this gap, being like, "Well, there's nothing there," and I'm like, "Well, there's certainly going to be something there." So
Sure.
that's what I think it's going to be.
Okay. My next prediction comes from Colin Moriarty, but we're putting it into the official box here of what's happening at E3. Morpheus gets more than 15 minutes of stage time. They're going to sit there and talk about Project Morpheus and try to sell you on Project Morpheus. And it's not going to go well.
That's the wrong way.
I enjoy Colin. I enjoy Colin a lot.
I'm glad somebody does.
Project Morpheus will be discussed for 20 minutes or less.
Well, was it 15 or 20?
I'm saying 20. You can say whatever you want.
Well, no, we had an official thing from the show. I thought it was 15. We settled on. Did you go? Do we go up
I'm
to
going
20?
up to 20.
Okay.
So both of us can possibly be right about this.
Interesting.
Morpheus will be discussed for only 20 minutes or less. The primary reason I think this is because the games cannot be effectively shown. But I think that there will be connectivity with games that you don't expect, as one of my predictions will reveal. But it's hard to show VR on a stage like that, and I think they're smart enough to not do it for very long.
See, I think they're going to have a way to do it. I just think they won't. I mean, it'll just be first-person shooting looking.
I really hope that it like falls in like that 5 minutes to make Colin right and you wrong.
Why?
I don't know. Just because it'll keep it fun. I'll give you some other ones, Greg.
No, you
It'll be
won't.
good.
You never do. You never give me anything. You're a monster.
Our next one's Colin.
Okay. I think the PlayStation Vita will be lowered to that $90 price tag that keeps getting kicked around. That
$90?
$89.99, right? That's
For
what the
a Vita?
rumor's been. Yeah.
No
Thus signifying it's over.
Damn.
I think that's true.
$90.
I think that's real. Yeah.
Sounds like a weird MSRP.
$89.99 is what I was saying. That's the rumor.
That's
That
even
has been a
weirder.
rumor for a while, yeah.
Man, all right.
I'm saying I believe it.
Okay.
It's a legacy system if you didn't hear.
Yes.
I'm not going to identify cost, but I'll say that both PlayStation 4 and Vita get price drops. No real need to drop PlayStation 4's price. This, of course, will affect PlayStation 4 or Sony in negative ways in terms of money lost, $50 per console over millions of consoles. But there's something that tells me it's time. Momentum is not shifting necessarily, but it's balancing out. Xbox One outsold PlayStation 4, for instance, last month. If Sony can do it, even if they drop it to $379 or something like that, that's just a way to get more people in the store and more people interested in it, because obviously Xbox One is cheaper, and you have to play that game eventually. It doesn't make a lot of financial sense. I'm not 100% confident in that prediction, but I think that PlayStation 4 and Vita will both get price cuts. And I would say, if I was going to guess what it would be something like $119.99 for Vita and $349.99 for PS4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be shocked at a Vita under 100.
I'm just saying that's been the rumor, and I think so. I'm thinking Sony's getting ready to divest in this thing. Mm-hmm. They're just going to be like, whatever. If you're porting your games over to it, great. It's still there. Still has a hardcore following that buys games all the time. Go get them. I think it's not the craziest thing to move the units, get them done with. Mm-hmm. They're not even getting shelf space in Target anymore.
Yeah.
We got problems, guys. Nip it in the bud, Tim.
Okay. It's nipped.
As rumors have suggested, the 1 terabyte PS4 is real. It's confirmed. That is the PS4 that stays at the current price. The 500 one gets a price drop. We
Now-
introduced the old 2 SKU console again.
I don't like this.
No? Well, it's just to
Now,
get you know, an
does it
option.
have a Blu-ray drive?
The 1 terabyte PS4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have to play the games, wouldn't it?
Well, the rumors, at least some of the rumors I was reading yesterday, were saying that it's the 1 terabyte in whatever schematics or whatever the fuck, it did not have a Blu-ray drive. And it was focused on digital download. And
no
it'd
way.
Be, it'd
No
be
way.
The cheaper
No, they
one.
wouldn't do that. The FCC filing as leaked shows that the numbers of the console, in other words, like the code numbers, are not changed other than 1 digit, which means it's exactly the same, except for the internal workings of
Plus, this goes back to our whole
Yeah, they wouldn't do
GameStop
that.
thing. They can't
Yeah.
go in there and shoot off their mouths.
Yeah.
We can't pull a PSP Go here,
Yeah, exactly.
even though we should, because PSP Go is awesome.
No.
Why wasn't the PSP Go awesome?
Because it has the same goddamn problem the Vita does. It has those little baby buttons.
Those are
Greg.
nice buttons. Those are
No.
good ones. You ever held a PSP
Yes,
Go?
I have.
You sure?
It hurt me. It hurt my soul.
You suck.
I'm really happy I get to be a part of this, guys. Thank you.
Media Molecules game is finally revealed. It will use PlayStation Move and Morpheus if you want to, but you can also play it with a DualShock 4 controller. It will be out in 2016.
I like that one. That's a good one. Lots of variables, of course, so you can get all your fucking 10th of a point garbage shit here.
It's not as bad as it usually is. My predictions.
And the host here has already declared it's one point.
1 point.
1 point. You can only win or lose.
We'll see.
Can't get halves. We'll have whoever new Mitchell Morgan is step up Break it down
I
both
bent
ways.
Mitchell Morgan to my will when he would do the scoring. I made him do it again. Remember?
It's true. You did.
Where I was like, this is bullshit.
See, yeah, I don't. It's a very interesting one you're bringing up, because I'm trying to think of how you would play dumb fucking dancing modeling clay game from Media Molecule without the move. You know what I mean? When they were doing their whole thing, let alone be able to use Morpheus and not have to, because those games are so fucking wrapped up in Morpheus. It seems.
Yeah. My biggest question would be, how would they announce that? It's like, here's this stuff, but also you get to really play it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But if you
that's
don't
kind
like
of
our things we're trying to sell you,
yeah.
No, I think the reason Media Molecule's game took so long and the reason that they ported Tearaway to make money for that studio until they can get the game out is because all of this tech was happening. Presumably Morpheus was shown to them first, because it seems like that's the studio, them in London, that could
do something groundbreaking.
that could do
and
something
cool.
with it proper. So I really do think that they know that they can't tether that game success to Move. They can't tether that game success to Morpheus. But they can work Morpheus and move into it if you want to use it, but otherwise it's a game you can play without it using this DualShock 4. I think that is probably the reason why the game has taken so long. Because Media Molecule has been quiet for a very long time. They haven't put out... Understand their core team has not put out a game since 2011. So they've released Tearaway, but that team was about 12 to 15 people. Porting that game probably wasn't even done internally to PS4. So you have to assume that one team...
But keep in mind that
is
this is where
doing
we
something.
always get into the gray area. We start getting yelled at. It's not a port. It's a build up from the ground of the original reimagining.
It seems like a really huge waste of time for a first party studio to do
Very
that.
true. Fuck Tearaway and its stupid ass.
It's not that I have a problem. I mean, I think Tearaway is whatever
Garbage.
it is, but
Yeah.
it's not garbage. But
It's fucking waste of time.
it's weird. It's a Media Molecule game,
Yeah, I know.
and they're weird. They're just weird
They're weird.
in a good way. They're just
No,
a
I
fucking
know.
really
I
weird
love
studio.
them. I didn't like that game,
Yeah,
but
Siobhan, I love Siobhan. She's the head of the studio. I went out to dinner with her once in Germany. Very interesting woman. But
did she make papercraft for you in front of you?
no, but they gave me a bunch of papercraft stuff like Tearaway stuff.
Nice.
But I think that Morpheus is the reason why this game is delayed.
Interesting.
And my hope is that
But you think it's optional?
I hope so, because that would be the end of Media Molecule if they put that thing only on Morpheus. That game, because it's just going to limit its sales, and no one game is going to make someone buy Morpheus. It's about making an ecosystem of options for people. So I do think
But I mean, that's the whole thing of what I still just don't believe in Morpheus and don't trust in. And they can't do that. They can't give you the out, because if they give you the out, they don't buy the Morpheus, and then it's
Yeah.
just over and over and over again. Not to mention it's going to be like Resistance, where it's going to be like, oh, the Resistance, the move game. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not a move game. That's an option. But they marketed it all wrong.
we'll see.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if most of what you just said was true, except it's Morpheus locked. You need Morpheus for it.
Yeah, that would be such a waste. I mean, I
But I mean,
understand,
like,
I
it's
understand what
already-
you're saying. It's true.
that's
London's doing the same thing, though.
Yeah, it's
They're already
locked.
making
It's
first party.
locked to the move, which is another dead technology. That's God.
I'm
alright,
just
well.
saying Move because it seemed like they already had worked out that tech.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if they still sell or even manufacture Move anymore. My assumption is that they probably do. In some capacity,
question. Yeah,
sell it
yeah.
at least. They probably have a fucking whole warehouse of that shit that no one wanted. But they seem to have worked something out in 2013 with Move. I mean, it was clear. And Move clearly works with PlayStation 4. So
Yeah.
based on that demo that they gave and based on the camera and all that kind
The
of stuff.
Morpheus game and demos too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like you need Move with some of these Morpheus games, so presumably it's still being manufactured, presumably it's still being made. I understand what you're saying, and what you're saying makes sense and is smart and is the likely choice, but I just feel like making a first party studio that hasn't put out a game in 4 years, a real game, and I'm not saying Tearaway's not a real game, I'm just saying that's the core of that studio didn't make it. So it's like you're gonna strand that game on Morpheus?
Yeah.
What do you even have the studio for then? You know, so
hear you.
I think it's got to be the best of both worlds. I know it's weird because I think Sony London is the studio that's making all of these other games. Plus, they have their new studio that's making Morpheus games too. So they have at least 2.5 studios working on Morpheus stuff, right? Something will come out of Japan studio. Presumably, my assumption is that Polyphony is probably going to have significant Morpheus interaction with Gran Turismo. So it's not like there's like all sorts of shit that's not happening behind the scenes. Presumably there is. You know,
Sure.
and studios like Naughty Dog and Sucker Punch are not going to make Morpheus games. So.
Sounds like they have more than 15 minutes of shit about Morpheus to talk about. Final prediction for Sony. At the end of the Uncharted demo, we get a 2016 date, like the full date. What blank 2016.
What is it? No balls?
You want me to go balls? You want me to give you like a date?
Damn.
Hold on.
No,
Let
you
me,
don't have to give me a date.
Now-
Be good. Do it. Follow your heart. You're not ready. You're not ready. It's okay.
I'll give you. Are you giving a date?
I'm not giving a date on anything. I was asking you to give a date.
I'll give a date.
You
okay.
fall for the trap since everything's 1 point.
Damn.
I'm looking through on what Tuesday looks good to
Ooh,
me.
if you're picking a Tuesday, you're already doing it wrong.
What Tuesday? You think it's gonna be a Friday?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it then. 'Cause now you've angered me.
Why do you think it's a Friday?
Because when they
Big
release games
releases.
worldwide, they big first party games Sony does on Fridays. The Uncharted collection will be revealed. It will include all 3 Uncharted games and the Golden Abyss on PlayStation 4.
Ooh.
It will come out in October,
I like that.
and it's being done by Blue Point. If you want to get into
Oh, well,
yeah.
what a surprise.
I'm going to throw that out there a little bit. Blue Point Games working on Uncharted collection, which is 4 games. You want to throw Fight for Fortune in there for fun?
No,
Fine.
no, I don't.
October 2015, PlayStation 4 exclusive. That's my final prediction for PlayStation.
Okay.
Sounds like you guys know this PlayStation stuff pretty well.
What do you think, Tim? Do you have any predictions?
Well, so it's not so much predictions, but just questions for you guys. Ratchet and Clank, what will be shown?
that's a good point,
question, yeah.
but it's already. I don't know. They'll probably show it, but there's nothing to really say about it because we already know it's delayed, and Insomniac's working on it. And when Drew Murray was on our GDC stream, he's like, "It looks Pixar quality." I believe it. Insomniac's very talented.
Yeah, they'll show a trailer.
So I think they'll
for it.
show it. Yeah, I don't know if they'll have a date or anything else to say about it, but yeah.
Persona 5, will it be at Sony's conference?
I think it will be. I think it will
But
be.
it's possible. I don't know. I don't know that as popular as that game is, I'm not sure that even Sony realizes that that's something they should talk about here.
I think they do. I think they've seen it with Persona 4. I think they've seen it with the way everybody acts and talks about Persona now. I think they will.
I mean, that is a pure exclusive, so it's not going to be on Xbox or PC. So it's a PS3 and PS4 game. So it would make sense for them to play it up, but I don't know. I don't know if you give stage time to it. So
I think you have the hot new trailer.
we'll see. It seems my assumption is that A, that game's not coming out this year, and B,
Yep.
they're not going to even show anything until TGS. I mean, that's
interesting.
Yeah, they don't. That's another game. It's not Fallout, but it's a game where you don't really need to do anything.
Yeah, true.
You know, people are engaged.
So speaking of exclusives, Street Fighter 5, do you think they'll have a new trailer or something?
Sadly, yeah.
Maybe. That's a good point. Maybe. I don't know though. You get the Evo crowd involved. Evo is very mad. The Evo crowd, the fighting community is very mad right now about Ultra Street Fighter 4 on PS4, which is not very good apparently. Even though we played it, I didn't notice anything wrong with it. But
We're not experts online doing all this
certainly
different
noticed
stuff,
it. So maybe you throw them a bone. Sony is funding that game, helping to fund that game. So yeah, possible.
Now, God of War, do we see anything?
I think you'll see God of War 3, the HD re-release.
Yeah.
I don't think they're ready to show the new game that they're working on yet.
Not
whatever
even a
it is.
teaser.
No, because remember that they were going to presume, like according to many rumors and whatever, that they were ready to show the game that they canceled last year. So, the space game, presumably by the guy that wrote Battlestar Galactica. So, I don't know that they're geared up and ready to show anything yet. You have to assume that whatever the new God of War game is probably not anywhere near being ready. So, maybe 2017. So that's a game you'd show.
Next E3.
Yeah, and the reason Santa Monica can get away with that is because they're such an internal incubator of games. So that studio exists as an XDev studio, not quite as strong as what they do in Europe, but Sound Shapes came out of there, and everybody who's gone to the Rapture is being co-produced by people like Deb Mars and stuff like that. So Zach Wood is there, and all these guys that work on a lot of these games, so Hokum and all that stuff. So they and obviously they're also internally incubating. Edith Finch, which I think we will see.
I was gonna say, how much do you think do we get of that? Do we get like one of those hot indie teaser trailer things? Do you think it's Adam Boy's out there with like 4 or 5 things behind him?
Yeah, I think they're funding that game, so I think that, and that's one of their teams. So I think that they give more than just a
Past story.
because remember they did a similar thing last year for that game Entwined.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
No,
and that game
that
game was really quite disappointing.
That's something I didn't reflect on. Oh, I did actually forget it.
It was an interesting game. It was a fun game. It just controlled pretty poorly at some point. Like there was I remember having a very specific issue with that game, but which you can read about in my review on IGN probably. But if they gave Entwine that kind of time, then certainly they're gonna give Edith Finch that kind of time. So I think that you'll see it there, but I don't think it's a big surprise. And I wonder if that game's ready this year. Edith Finch came out, or Swan came out in 2012, so. It took them a long time to make that game, though. That game was delayed for a long time. Yeah, it was like over a year late. So, who knows? They're artists, so those guys are.
Don't rush it.
Yeah. Oh, well, but Giant Sparrow specifically seems like a group of like just it's ready when it's ready.
Yeah,
kind of guys, and they seem to get away with it.